Greetings from Glasgow. My name is Gisela, and I'm a tourism student from Gajah Mada University. In this IISMA program, I took a decision to study at the University of Glasgow with some courses like psychology, Scottish culture and literature, and philosophy. Pretty interesting, right? Unfortunately, I did not have the time to shoot this video anywhere in Scotland because the last days in there, which was supposed to shoot, were cancelled because I got COVID. I'm supposed to shoot the video in front of the statue of Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of Wellington, near the Gallery of Modern Art, which is located in the Glasgow city centre. It's one of the Glasgow's most iconic landmarks, especially with the coat. Well, Edinburgh has the castle, London has Big Ben, and Glasgow has a statue with a traffic cone on its head. It basically represents Glasgow's unique sense of humor. Okay, well, while I'm here, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my journey through IISMA. It all started with a pretty rushed preparation, but it was one of a ride. I know about IISMA from my advisor teacher, which then I got interested about. I prepared for the required documents, choosing host university and courses, and waited for the announcement. But it didn't stop there. The fun part started when the awardees finally grouped together and went a long way down to prepare for our departure. The laughs, the confusions, the excitement, and the time zones. Because we got delayed for our departure, some of us had started the introduction classes from Indonesia. It's called the T2G, or Transition to Glasgow. So we were trying to adjust to the 6 hour spare time. But overall, they were fun classes, fun discussion, with very kind teachers too. Then, the day we finally flew to Glasgow was the day all of us had been longing for. But, sadly we still had to wait for the UK rules for us to do the 10 days quarantine. But it was no problem at all because I got to quarantine in Edinburgh. The hotel was nice, the people were nice. I even got to talk to some guards whenever I tried to get out to get some fresh air. The only two things I got to struggle with was the food and the accent. Yes, I believe you guys expected that. I mean, the food is good, you won't complain about needing more because they always came in a full package. The main dish, dessert, snack, fruit, and a juice box. 3 times a day, imagine. But we all know about their lack of seasoning. So, for spice lovers, remember to bring your own sambal. And the day I finally got out from the hotel and stayed in Glasgow, interacting with the people there, you know, Scottish accent is hard, but Glaswegian accent, it's something else. Then days passed, I finally got to settle with my classes. Actually, there was some administration delay due to adjustment to classes capacities and students' timetables, so I got to spend 1 to 2 weeks waiting to be accepted for any available class, while the other students had started, so I had to catch up on my own later on. It was kind of work, honestly, but not long after that, I got my final courses, which I had 4 classes with a total of 60 credits. They're all interdisciplinary studies for me, but I can say all fit to tourism. Fun fact, before my departure, I got so scared for my study in there, because it's my first time studying abroad. I had no idea about their teaching style, tasks, and so on, but turned out I wasn't that struggling. Of course, the lecture practice is not the same with the ones I had in my home uni, but that's where I could grasp new ways of comprehending and working on tasks. There is one thing I learned from my 4-month study. They have a little bit difference in essay components. In my home uni, we're used to write a long introduction explaining all the specific terms, definitions, backgrounds, while in there, I was for a couple of times requested to write a shorter introduction and more on my analysis. Some courses and some teachers gave us an illustration as if we make a writing for someone who is already an expert. So, cut off the basic issue, cut off the basic definitions, basic facts, and quickly jump to the argument breakdowns, interdisciplinary perspective, data, and the whole new invention of thinking. This kind of component requires me to spend a lot more on reading, to get as much as I can for my understanding so I can write a whole new thing for my essay. There's also this style of giving feedbacks they have. So for some courses, they had us to submit exercises on Moodle and I would get a feedback for it. There will always be a feedback from the teachers, even though it was just a simple 500 words of home review. So on the next task, we would have known what we need to improve and what's already good. Sometimes I would also get a student feedback too. It's where students are asked to leave feedbacks on other students' work. I think that's a good thing to be applied in all courses, because we got to explore another way of thinking or perspective from other students and also critics for ourselves. So it's fun though. Other than classes, I also got the chance to do a volunteer activity in the Hunterian Museum. There was an event which was still part of the COP26 agenda, so my friend and I did a little volunteer for an interactive showcase where we had fun doing some activities with the visitors. Mine was doing some leaf crafting. It was a total fun and I had a lot of conversation with my activity leader and also some of the visitors. But honestly, if I could go back in time, I would consider myself joining a student club or an activity, because I spend too much time wondering about what I like or what I can do. But honestly, why not try and see how it goes instead, right? But all I can say, after completing this short study, it has affected me both as a student and as a person. Living in Glasgow for almost 4 months, with whole new people, meeting new faces every day, changing cultures, nobody would say it's not one of the best things a person could experience. So many knowledge in this world is waiting to be acknowledged. I had just encountered not even half of them. Perspectives, issues, lifestyle, cultures, they have their own and I have my own. And through IISMA, they all met. I get the chance to study about their cultures through my perspectives. Not only it opens to exchange in knowledge, but it could also lead to new invention of thinking if lucky. And as a tourism student, I'm lucky enough to get the experience being a foreign tourist. It feels like a field observation where I was located in a whole new environment, a developed country. Of course, it would feel way much different from Indonesia. I saw there's a whole different ways of operation, different laws, and organization cultures exist in the tourism industry. Learned so much and it was fun. And as a person, I got to know that, again, I was lucky enough to be put in Glasgow, where they have the kindest people of all the UK. You can ask it yourself. They even had it as their jargon. People make Glasgow. Because wherever I go, there will always be a hand to help. They like to talk, having little conversations, asking about each other's days. Not all of them, of course, but it's enough to build a kind image for them. And for this, it has made me an IISMA bias, because when there's an opportunity to travel to see the other part of the world, you don't turn it down. To travel is a beautiful desire as to explore, to see another part of the world, to meet cultures, to grow perspectives, and to find families. And IISMA was created as a combination between the two. I got to travel, encounter other parts of the world. Also, a little bit of knowledge won't hurt, will it? Be bold to go abroad.